For many viewers who are following weather reports, when they heard about the possibility for heavy wind and rain and possible tornadoes, many changed today's plans, including the school districts.
And Fox Carolina's Sharon Johnson joins us live right now to tell us more about these changes. So Sharon, tell us more about what went into effect today.
Well, pretty much people went into what they consider safe modes. Many of the parents actually kept students home from school today. And as for the schools, as you heard earlier, they kept students at school a little bit longer until the threat had passed. Wind and rain signaled the beginning of the storm. One meteorologist warned early could have the potential to be severe.
Just be aware that we are looking at damaging wind today, a hail threat, and even the possibility of tornadoes.
Because of that, local schools went on alert.
We have people with their eyes on this storm. We've encouraged principals that even if there isn't a formal weather advisory issued and they see something that makes them nervous, to feel comfortable enough that they can have the decision-making authority to put their school in some sort of safe zone.
Districts kept kids in school until they felt it was safe. One family that recently located here from Florida took their own precautions and kept their children home from school. We talked with Brandon Passwaters by phone about why.
I'd rather have my kids home safe than, being in a position where, now there's really heavy winds and horrible rain and whatever happening, and then what do you do then? It's too late.
The Greenville County School District canceled all after-school athletic activities Monday afternoon and said parents could pick their children up early if they're concerned about safety. Passwaters says that's not enough.
That puts, I think, parents in an even worse position, because if they're at work, then they have to talk to their employer, they have to rush, and who knows what kind of weather now they're going to be driving in to get their children.
The district spokesperson said storm timing makes it harder to plan for spring severe weather than with predictions of ice or snow.
With a severe weather system that includes snow or other sort of winter weather, it's much easier to plan for than these kind of pop-up spring thunderstorms and severe weather that can be more spotty in nature.
But says schools have regular tornado drills to prepare for days like this, and in extreme cases, as with the tornado threat, bus drivers have emergency plans as well, recommended to pull over and find safety.
So if students are on buses and there's a tornado warning, one of the first things that we ask them to do is to find a place to shelter the children and themselves. So if the closest place is a school, we ask bus drivers to pull to the closest school and get everyone inside.
The district spokesperson says if there is not a school nearby, then they ask them to look for other locations, perhaps a fire department or a hospital, any open facility, just to make sure they're out of harm's way and into safety. Back to you.
So Sharon, question for you. In the midst of a storm, how do school districts even communicate quickly with the schools to let them know?
Well, ahead of the storm, the communication basically is email or phone calls. But once the storm hits, in addition to phone calls, they also have handheld radios, especially for those crews that are out in the field, whether they're monitoring the weather out here or whether they're on the buses. They have those handheld radios to stay in contact, to be alerted if anything should happen. Reporting live in Greenville, Sharon Johnson, Fox Carolina, the 4 o'clock news.